How did you end up starting the questions experience? Take us back to the beginning.
Well, yeah, that's it. It started because one of my businesses in like 1997, the fall of 1997, I had an internet company and television company combined. And it's an awful story what happened, but I had nefarious partners slash investors who I have forgiven, by the way. They basically screwed me over, and I was all of a sudden, my own company was forced into bankruptcy, and at a point where I thought I was going to become a dot-com billionaire. Like, I owned
Mhm.
a company that did one of the first internet television the first in Canada,
Wow.
internet television broadcasts, except I didn't know enough about business and about capital raising. And it's one of the reasons I went into the capital raising business later, to learn about the finance side. Anyway, I suddenly, with a new baby, was out on my ass, so to speak, literally and figuratively. And I had since so that was 1998, in the spring of 1998. Let me think. Yeah, 1997, 1998, somewhere in there. I had done a lot of personal development. There's a company called Landmark Education that still exists today, that did a thing called the communication course and the forum. And these are weekend retreat type, transformational type of workshops. So I had done a lot of those in the early 90s. And when I suddenly was without a business and with no opportunity as such, I thought, well, I better, take, even at that point, my vast experience
Yeah.
and create my own workshop, basically. So I created a weekend retreat type thing, which was kind of similar to what Landmark was doing. And I needed 10 people to make it work. And I had 4 people signed up. And it was the week before the workshop, the weekend retreat. And I thought, I should send them a questionnaire, the 4 people that had signed up, and ask them a few questions and kind of get a feel for where they're at, so that I can make the workshop more powerful for them individually, like understand about them. So I sat down with a pen and I wrote down these 8 questions, one after the other. And then I put them into a document. And no, I don't know how it worked back then. I think we had email. Anyway, I sent it to them. And I said, hey, answer these questions, send them back to me, and then we'll get on the phone and talk about it. And that is essentially where the questions experience started, because it turns out we never even did the weekend workshop. But those 4 people, I did what essentially was a coaching session. I didn't
Yep.
even understand the term coaching at that
Sure.
time. By talking to them about their answers to these powerful questions, and man, they all were like, there were tears flowing and things happening. And I realized, wow, there's something powerful about these questions. And that was the start of it. And it's just developed over the years. So I do it as a one-on-one coaching thing. I've done it with hundreds of people one-on-one. And then I started doing workshops with it. And we, in 2005, we actually did some public workshops. And then we did it again in 2016, 17. And it was always something off the corner of my desk. It
Yeah.
wasn't real. It wasn't my real business.
Yeah.
So it was just
Passion
something.
project.
And most of the time, most of the people that have done the questions with me, I didn't charge them, right? It was just, and so with COVID, I decided to finish the book, so the questions experience is this. First part of it is just exploring these dirty words: have to, should, try, but, can't, hope, wish. These are dirty, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that we can create
Yeah.
that are words that we can eliminate from our vocabulary. Like, if you stop saying but and always substitute and, it can make a huge difference. I'll tell you one quick example, okay? So I'm driving to my kids' hockey practice or game. I forget which. My phone rings. This is like 20 years ago. My phone rings and it's my buddy, and he goes, hey, we're going down to Brewster's. This is in Calgary, for have a few beers. Are you coming over? And I said, oh, no, I can't. Dirty word.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could. Dirty word. I have to take my son, Chris, to hockey. 3 dirty words. Okay. Now, why am I saying I can't? As if like it's out of my control. It's impossible. No, I could go if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 2, I wish I could, like, what am I doing there? I'm trying to let them down easy. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
I would come, but I can't. It's impossible.
Sure.
What is that? Okay. Now listen, here's my kid in the back of the car hearing that. Oh man, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could, but I have to take my kid to hockey.
Yeah, he's feeling
Now, it
guilty.
was a lie, Kelly. That was a lie. It wasn't even true.
Yeah.
I could have said, hey, thanks for the offer. I'm not coming because I get to take my kid to hockey. I
Sure.
get to.
Yeah.
Now,
Does the
first
same thing.
response, which was unconscious and full of dirty words,
Mm.
my son's probably sitting in the back going, oh, my dad would rather be going to drink beer with his buddies, but he has to take me to hockey, which wasn't even true.
Yeah.
I was more than happy. I was just trying to somehow let them down easy. It's like when you say to your buddy, oh, sorry, I can't, or I'll try to be there. When, it's like they can take it.
Yeah.
They're fine. So that's a little example of the dirty words. So we do the dirty words workshop. We get everybody thinking about all these stupid words that we use that not only are they're disempowering, they screw up communication because we say, well, I'll try to be there. No, we're not going to try to be there. We're not coming. If someone says, I'm going to try to be there, they're just not being honest with you. And they're, for some stupid reason, trying to let you down easy. Instead, it's like there's so much of that in our everyday language. So we explore that. Okay. And we create these words and we say, okay, now when you answer the questions, don't use any of these words.
Yeah.
And then we move into there.
I find that so interesting. And how did you come to this conclusion about these dirty words? Because it's like, I think many people say these things all the time and don't think twice about it. What was it that changed your view on them?
I really don't know. I think like the Dirty Words book has a certain take on it. And there's all kinds of books, and this is not a new concept. I think for sure I picked some of it up from Anthony Robbins, in the early 90s there when I actually had the chance to meet him and went to one of his big workshops. And it's nothing new. My take on it is just instead of just identifying them and comparing them to swear words, right? So there's the 7 words you can't say on TV, which 6 or 7 of them you can now, by the way. And I just say we are very careful with swear words. Like we're aware of where we can say them and where we don't want to say them.
Yeah.
Yet a word like but or should, we're constantly shoulding all over people around us, or shoulding all over ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I should do this. No. Well, why would you say that? I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I get to do this. Or, I can't. No, I'm choosing not to do it. It's my choice. We're all at choice all the time. We're not being buffeted through life, although it seems that way, and most of us live that way. We're just like buffeted by the winds.
Yeah. Well, they say 95% of what we do is unconscious, right? It's like it's a very small amount that isn't.
Yeah. So just becoming, and believe me, the dirty words concept I've been working with for like whatever it is, close to 30 years. And I still catch myself using those dirty words.
Yeah.
So it's very entrenched.
Yeah. Deep programming.